Welcome to Coochie Conversations, where we give you the real on all things women's health, spirituality, and motherhood. Empowering women to have sovereignty over themselves, we shine light on the disparities that women face daily as divine feminine beings. So steep your favorite tea, roll up your favorite smoke blend, and tune into this week's episode of Coochie Conversations. Peace, y'all. This is your girl, Bianca Pittman, aka Divine Mother, your Coochie Shiro, giving you a fresh Coochie Conversations episode today. Today, we'll be talking about body image and then obsessions with body enhancements, body dysmorphia, and how it correlates to postpartum. Do you really need a mommy makeover, or do you need to accept that being a mom is a makeover? On this week's episode of Coochie Conversations, oh no. So, yeah, okay. I'm sure on your social media, you may have heard a very tragic story about 32-year-old Jackie O passing away a few days ago from having a mommy makeover procedure done in Miami. If you aren't sure who Jackie O is, she's a former Wild 'N Out cast member, as well as comedian DC Young Fly's girlfriend, who is also a cast member of the Wild 'N Out show. If you're not sure what the Wild 'N Out show is, then I'm going to need you to tap into MTV sometimes, catch an episode, and laugh your ass off. First off, I want to start by sending my love and deepest condolences to the families and friends who lost a mother, a daughter, a sister, a friend, and a spouse over this past weekend. This story is very sad, and as a pregnant woman who is literally transforming every single day and only a few months away from my fourth trimester, I decided to speak on this topic because very soon, too, I will be going through my own changes that come with childbearing. So, mommy makeovers. Whew. This is a this is an intense topic. And of course I got my co-host here, Joanne. So, I think today we have two perspectives in regards to um I'm embarking on this motherhood journey, and yes, my body is changing every single day, but I haven't went through the changes that come after childbearing. And then having you on the show today, you've been a mom for 15 years already,
Definitely, girl.
a professional mom, 15 years already. And, our we have probably the same ideologies and aspects, but at the same time, you've been through what I'm already like what I'm about to go through. So I'm gonna talk about my insight and what I feel about the mommy makeover um fad. And then I wanna just, you know, sip some tea and really unpack what it means and how you feel in your mommy experience and how I think I'm gonna feel in my mommy experience.
Yes.
So, for those of you who are tuning in, if you aren't aware of what a mommy makeover is, a mommy makeover is one of today's most popular combinations of plastic surgery techniques designed specifically to address common issues faced by women who have been through pregnancy and breastfeeding. The surgical technique has found its way into mainstream media, with it becoming the procedure of choice among the Hollywood elite. So, once people in Hollywood start doing things, the smaller people or just the people who, look up to these celebrities, they just run with it and they start doing these things too. So the overall goal, from my understanding of having a mommy makeover, is to restore the shape and appearance of a woman's body after childbearing. So a lot of women try to go back to how their bodies were before getting pregnant. Um, and most of you know, like if you have children, as you grow in maternity and go through that postpartum phase, your breasts and your abdomen are the primary areas of change within motherhood. So the mommy makeover really centers around the breast and the abdomen areas in those procedures. Um, because we all know that, if you've been pregnant before, our breasts enlarge at least a cup or two during pregnancy. I know for me, I went from a 34B to a 36 double D. And returning back to normal size can mean a significant loss in breast tissue and breast volume and noticeable sagging. Throughout a woman's pregnancy, the abdominal muscles and the skin and tissue stretch to safely accommodate the baby. But unfortunately, after childbirth, these layers may not bounce back to their like pre-baby shape. And I always joke about, I've always had these nice plump breasts, never had to wear a bra and stuff. And now, my breasts are 36 double D. I'm still team no bra, but um I probably should wear a bra. It's probably why my back is on fire right now, because these breasts just be breasting a lot, and I have a really small frame. But even as I entered this journey, I know that one of the sacrifices of motherhood is that I might have lost the luxury of having those nice perky breasts. Um, and I just think that that's just a part of the journey for me. So a mommy makeover can include breast augmentation, breast lifts, breast reductions, tummy tucks, liposuction, and all these surgeries are kind of tailored to the individual. And from my research, I've seen that they cost between like 6,000 to 15,000, but then I've seen some that cost all the way up to like $40,000. So, um, I for one, I don't know. I like these breasts, but they can go down. Like, I'm okay with them going down, because, like I said, the way my back is hurting is not normal. And I feel bad for the women who've had, like, I know women that've had like 3 breast reductions and still was not satisfied. So, like, to have this back pain and to think that there are women that have this back pain all the time, it's like, girl, all right, I could lose some. Woo. Oh yeah. This episode of Coochie Conversations is sponsored by BU Beauty Holistic Feminine Wellness Products and Services. Use promo code Coochie Combos to receive off your first order with us, for those who are tuning in.
Hey, I've had big titties all my life, so it's been a thing for me. They actually got larger once I had my daughter. My daughter's 15, so I'm the resident veteran of sorts. But they actually got larger when I had my daughter, and they haven't gone down since. Um,
So they never went down?
they never went down, and I welcomed it. One of the things I looked forward to in my pregnancy was um, my body accentuating its truest feminine form. In my family, um, we have a very curvaceous stature. So we have a small waist, big titties, big butt too. So I was looking forward to it. I was like, yes, I'm looking forward to it. And I'll have to say that the further I go into my holistic wellness journey, and the further I go into like eating the right things for me and like feeding my body the proper things, the more I fall in love with my body.
Mhm.
This is the best version of my body yet. Like, I'm low key obsessed with myself. Like, I wear way more form fitting things now. I'm way more outgoing with
Confident.
yeah, I'm way more confident because I trust my body. It has carried me through so many seasons. It actually gave birth to a very, very beautiful and amazing, awesome human. And I think that that's a powerful way to look at things. Even when I was pregnant and as my body was changing, I did have stretch marks around my belly area, around my waist area. And I knew that the more changes would come, but the changes of my body did not weigh my excitement for motherhood. And I know that that's a big stretch for people. Like, you don't understand. I may not understand your life, girl. I may not ever understand your journey. I don't know your grandmother. I don't know your
Okay.
last name. But what I do know is that you, as a life bearer, That's the greatest honor and privilege, that I've held. And even if I didn't have a child, I'll honor my womanhood and the sacredness of my womanhood by showing up the best I can in the body that I was blessed with. And there are some things I would love to augmentate. Did you know that, Bianca?
No,
Yes. If I were to change one thing, I would bleach my teeth.
that's easy. I mean, but that's not like so.
No, I'm trying
No,
to. I'm trying to relate. I know. I know.
no, that's not
My teeth are perfect.
relatable.
To me, my teeth are perfect. I just want them brighter. I want them to
Okay,
match
but we
my
can
eyebrows.
do that naturally. We can get teeth cleanings or whatever. But like my thing
Yeah.
is, so I've always been a small frame woman.
Hmm.
I was 100. The most I've ever weighed was 115 until now. I'm 140. But the most I ever weighed was like 115. So I've always been between like 100 pounds and 108 pounds or whatever. And that could be, and that could be, I guess, that could be me. I could have been in the phase of low self esteem. I don't have a big butt. I don't have big breasts. I don't have the things that men look for physically besides having a pretty face and a nice smile, you know what I mean? But it never bothered me. It never made me feel less than because I
Hmm.
was a small frame petite woman. I never wanted to go and get breast implants or butt implants or none of that stuff. And then for me, I just don't see myself putting myself under surgery for vanity purposes.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, I just felt like when people are attracted to me, they're attracted to me. They're
Yeah.
attracted to my energy. They're attracted to my light. So it's not really like, oh, I'm attracted to her because she got a fat ass or some big titties. I mean, maybe now because
Yeah.
I got it all,
Yeah.
but um,
You do. You do. With a
I
big video.
never I've never been that way. And like, I do know some moms who they have never been that way in the past, and then they might have had a baby and then they started like breastfeeding and one breast is lopsided now because the baby was suckling more on one side, and now they might want a little, lift or implants or whatever. And I'm not knocking anybody's decision.
Yeah.
However, I personally feel that the snapback culture is detrimental and brainwashing to a lot of women's mental health who are in the postpartum stage.
You know it's
Uh,
cultural, right?
yeah.
Let me tell you, I see my mother now. I see my mother a lot now, but I've seen her like some of the, like, if I could put a time frame on it, I never seen her the most until after I had that baby.
Mm.
She was on me. Wear your faja. I'm Hispanic, y'all. Wear your 100% Hispanic. I'm pulling my cards out today. Y'all gonna wear your faja. Drink manzanilla. Always have. I thought like these are the things like manzanilla is chamomile.
Right.
So
I was about to say
chamomile,
that too. Yeah.
chamomile,
Hmm.
or atol de lote. No, that's not. So the porridge, harmony corn porridge,
Oh, you
white
know me. I
corn
love me
porridge,
some porridge every day.
and it helps the lactation. Corn milk help the lactation.
Right.
Cinnamon help the antifungal on the properties. They had me suckling on a little satchel of honey, clove, lemon, and a couple of other herbs. I've always been Ayurvedic. I've always been like,
Hmm.
our alignment is layered, but like,
Right.
you know,
So many reasons.
for so many reasons. But that's how we meant to be. But like, and it was the aftercare. Like, all the women in my family were just so invested. Like, my aunts were talking to me the most. My mom was talking to me the most. My mama had a key to my apartment. Like, my mom had a key to my apartment. She would just come in, make sure that whatever was in the refrigerator, make sure I bound my belly, make sure my breasts were sitting up. I had all the support garments like known to man, like flew in from the Dominican Republic, first class flight. Like, I was being zipped and key locked in from the hospital, and I got my figure back. I went right back to wearing my size 28 jeans, but I didn't catch up with the transformation until I was left alone, until my covering, or like, my ancestry had like departed. Like, okay, she's good,
Right.
baby out, breathing, back to schedule. Like, that postpartum in their mind was
Right.
only 4 weeks, but postpartum in me, I still be going through it. I still be going.
15 years
I don't
later. I
want
mean,
to
postpartum
understand.
is up. First of all, I would. It takes about a year or two for a woman's body to even go back to
Yes, yeah.
normal as far as your organs and all that stuff. And then, like you said, people think it's like 4 weeks, 2 months.
And
It
they
can
give
be
me 4 weeks.
4 years. It could be 15 years. You know what I mean? You can't gauge it. It's not something that has a time frame on it, really.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that we don't take the time to appreciate the changes of motherhood, but instead we quickly feel like we have to like snap back into having the shapes we had before motherhood, is it's really becoming a mental illness. Like,
It
I
is.
don't think that people realize, like, instead of asking a woman how she feels after having her baby,
How she
we
look tells you how she's doing.
yes, it's like you look good, you look this, you look that, but it's like, oh, you snap back, or you lost so much weight, or you this
That's
and that,
not a
but you're
compliment.
not once are you asking this woman how is she feeling,
Like, how's her
how,
mental? How's
how
her?
is she processing. It goes straight to the vanity of things. And I don't think many women understand the death and rebirth that takes place when becoming a mom, like the death of the old self as we transition into a new person as a mom. You're literally going from maiden to mother. And to be a mom is a level up and a rites of passage that we need to honor, instead of feeling like we have to snap back to what we look like before taking on this journey. And
Isn't that strange that that the pressure is to like look how you used to look, but you'll never be that person again?
right, that's my thing. Like, I think it's strange, a part of culture, when people measure a woman by like how she looks, and then we get stuck into this mode of like trying to act like we didn't just have a baby.
And what is that? Why do you want to look like you didn't have a baby?
Like, there's so many shifts taking place in a woman's body, after we're hormonally, physically, mentally, and like the postpartum phase should be spent resting and recovering. But most women, like, they'll spend their time like trying to book surgeries or trying to get back in the gym right away. And like, it's really like causing more harm to the body than it is good. I just
And the
saw
baby.
a woman on Instagram who had her baby, and she was supposed to be resting for she wanted, like I say, like, once I have seven, I'm going to be resting for like 40 days. And she said she was going to do that, but she had like her other kid's birthday party and did all this stuff within like the first week, and like she's suffering so bad. Her
Mhm.
breasts are suffering, like she's like, yo, I just wish that I would have just rested
And sat down.
and stayed in the house instead of trying to do the most. Still trying to run my business and make videos over here. Got to do my baby's first couple day photo shoot, doing all this stuff, and it's like now my body's paying for it, and as new moms, I know it's common to miss your old self, your old body. You go through identity crisis, and letting go is hard. It's an adjustment, but I don't think our friends and our colleagues and our family members understand how toxic and dangerous it is mentally and physically to moms to having to feel like they have to fit a standard of snapping
Beauty.
back.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think the toughest part about that is the self inflicted harm that we induce. That's the time we're supposed to be eating way more than
Right.
even in our
Nourishing
pregnancy.
foods.
Right, we're supposed to, because we're supposed to be eating restorative foods as well as nourishing foods and foods that sustain us. So we're eating three different food groups for three different
You
reasons.
might gain more weight in postpartum because you're doing more. You know
You're
what I mean?
supposed to gain. You're supposed to gain the weight back. The person in your body that gave you the weight is out of your body,
Body, and you
so
need
your
that.
body has to recalibrate. You
Right.
eat less because the person in your body is outside of your body. You
Hmm.
got to take care of that person. So you got to eat a little more intentionally and eat a little bit more critically. So like people really say, "Oh wow, you look great." Compliments on my body are so cringe. They've always been. Before I was a mother, to now, because like I said, I live in a Hispanic household. I have a Hispanic upbringing, so the tighter your waist is, the more beautiful you are.
Right.
A hit dog is gonna holler. I'm sorry if you're hearing this and you heard what I said. You could be
Okay.
butt ugly
But
according to some standards, but if you got a snatch waist, you're
mm-hmm.
going to find a husband and you are marryable. That is just trans culture. You can fight me if you disagree. I don't care. I got the smoke. At Joanne in the mirror, DM me. But like what I'm saying, like it's like they equate that snatchness to that physique to wellness, and that's the furthest thing from the truth. 'Cause I know some snatch bodies that have the poorest eating habits.
Poorest.
You're eating Chick-fil-A and you're eating chicken fries from Burger King, but you keep your waist trainer on.
Mm-hmm. And
And
those waist trainers are not even good for you.
you can't even exhale.
They mess up your organs.
Depending on the brand and depending on the boning. There are some that have like elastic, some fabric that do hold you up. I do believe in belly bands. I do believe in support garments. I don't believe in restricting support garments.
Right.
If you need
Because
brand,
I am gonna like do the belly thing when I,
the
for the
belly binding.
belly binding for sure. But I won't be in no waist trainer. I mean, if I can help it, unless it's a good, because like you said, there are good ones on the market. But then when everybody's trying to make a waist trainer, they're not all made it with the same intention.
Yeah, so I have two now. They're both from a black owned business. One is controversially a black owned business because y'all see the Armenian that owns it in the front, but y'all know it's owned by a black woman. If y'all picking up what I'm putting down, it rhymes with swims. Anyway, yeah, they have compression garments and they work really well. I'm wearing them less and less and less the older I get. And I'm realizing like very in my formidable years, like in my early teens, even right after childbirth, I was really adhering to my family's ideologies of what beauty standards are. So I did believe in compression garments. I
Mhm,
always had me a girdle panty.
mhm.
I didn't start wearing panties until I was out on my own and my daughter was out my body. Because I always, even in my early teenage years, I wore a support garment. I wore girdle panties from
Right.
bust line to waist. It was a complete girdle panty. I had all the flavors. I had all flavors. You couldn't stop me, and I was always snatched because I never wanted to look jiggly or out of place. Now,
Right.
sundress my body.
Okay.
I might wear
Okay.
a bra. I might
Right.
wear a
The only
bra.
reason why I'm considering wearing a bra right now is because my back hurts. But other than that, I'm really not trying. I don't. I came to New Jersey. I packed two bras because I don't wear them. Like, and two panties because I don't wear them. Like, this is team no bra, no panties over here.
Team no bra, no panties. And you know what's crazy? You helped me a lot with the no panties thing because I subscribe to like the old way of thinking, like, oh, I'm thick, so I can't be having no panties. No, because with the proper yoni care, you too,
Okay.
you too can be
Yes.
of the
Like I
panties.
said, this episode of Coochie
Okay.
Conversations is sponsored by BU Beauty Holistic Feminine Wellness Products and Services.
Because when you wash your vagina with some good coochie soap, you're not gonna be yeasty. You're not gonna be dripping. Your
Because
floor is balanced. You hydrated. You at a normal tempo. Nothing gonna be going down your legs and down your knees, mamas.
sometimes y'all be thinking y'all wet down there, and it's not
You're
the wetness,
yeasty.
it's the yeast, it's the bacteria that's
You
flowing out.
you don't stay wet. You stay yeasty.
Your coochie's not wet, baby girl. But that'll be for another episode.
Another episode, right? Shout out to the wet set.
Right. Oh,
Shout out to my girls to get it from scratch.
oh my
This
god.
ain't that. But
So
body
bad.
dysmorphia is bred. It's conditioned. And when we are subscribed to society's beauty standards of what's visually appealing, it always ties down to how attractive you are to the opposite sex.
Mm-hmm.
And if we just get into that understanding of like, this is what my body was created to do. My body was created to transform and transcend and to stretch and to grow. Womb, no womb. Woman, you are bred to evolve. As a girl, you do so a girl does. As a teen, you in adolescence, The metamorphosis, and as a grown woman, you metamorphosize as well. You're not going to stay the same way you were when you were
No,
born.
we transition, you know what I mean? We change, and like I said, motherhood is like it's a rites of passage.
For
We
sure.
go through this death and rebirth, and I don't think, you know, people realize that as new moms, we're already facing a lot.
Yeah.
Taking care of a tiny human that solely depends on you constantly. You know, you may be dependent on your partner financially for the first time ever. Then we go back to work and we want to have this impression that motherhood hasn't changed us. So we try to work just as hard as we did prior to having a baby when our organs aren't even back into place, or if we had a C-section, we have scars that haven't fully healed, and like some of us suffer from postnatal depression or birth related PTSD. And on top of that, and then we have to think about snapping back physically. Like that's just, I feel like that should be the last thing on our minds after having a baby.
There's so many things that women have to not to say go against, but there are so many strikes against us, right? We're milk making machines. Shout out to the women who don't produce milk. I'm with you. My heart is with you. There's so much shaming going online. Like, the celebrity culture where they snap back and they're a toothpick and they're holding their newborn. It's just unrealistic. And I think that once you lock into who you are uniquely and embrace yourself as a feminine entity, therefore if you can start the healing.
And the only reason why women really don't produce milk is because they never took the time out to really try and breastfeed their baby like that. Like if you try and put your baby straight on formula, your body goes off the baby. You know what I mean? If the baby
Hmm.
is not trying to latch on, your body's just not going to produce any milk.
Hmm.
If you're giving if bottle feeding your baby in the middle of the night when your body is actually producing the most milk, you're telling your body you don't need no milk. So your body's like, all right, bitch, I'm gonna stay here then. You know what I mean? So it's like I just feel like it's also intention. If you have that intention already, like I don't want to breastfeed, you're already telling your body, don't worry about it. Like
And and not the shame, but you need to start taking accountability for that. Like as women, we are way more in control and in charge than
we
modern medicine or the hospital says we are. Like we don't need the usage of an apparatus. We don't need the usage of medication or the conditioning. Our bodies are enough to produce anything we need to
this is
produce.
what your body is made to do. You know what
This
I
is
mean?
what your
You
body is
don't even
designed to
really
do.
need a breast pump
You
to
really
be
don't. And it's the wayward way of the world where we forget that our body is a machine and our brain is the engine. So if
right.
you're subscribing to these ideologies, you're literally shutting down the milk machine in your breast.
Mm-hmm.
And you're wondering why. And I'm like, it's your mind. Change your
Right.
mind, renew your body.
Body exactly. You
But
know,
I
and
don't
then like many cultures, especially in in Western society, it puts immense pressure on the postpartum woman to look like pregnancy, birth, and motherhood never happened. And like many new birthing parents feel like they have to do a lot to prove that pregnancy didn't change them or their bodies at all. And it makes it really hard for them to enjoy the journey of being a new mom.
how can you stay present?
Like that's why I said getting my body back is the last thing on my mind after having my son. You know, I've been exercising, doing yoga, Pilates, swimming, pelvic exercises, all this stuff this entire pregnancy. But like once I have him, that's not what I'm jumping back to do. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like, and these women are really out here exercising and planning surgeries weeks after birth. And I just say, like, let's give our bodies grace and admiration for how powerful we are as women. And like we mentioned earlier, it takes 1 to 2 years just for your body to fully heal and recover from pregnancy. So, like, the next time you're around a new mom, don't comment on her appearance. Like, just ask her how she's feeling and encourage her to rest and recover as opposed to trying to get her back in the gym, surgeries, or etc. Because I also feel like, social media gives us this feeling of what we're supposed to look like.
Yeah, yeah.
It's this comparison. Oh, okay, this person just had a baby and look, she just snapped back. So now when I have my baby, I got snapped back too. And it's just like honor your change, honor your cycle, honor your journey and give yourself grace. The weight will come off when it's supposed to. But us putting ourselves under more pressure, under more surgeries after just having a baby is just like it, like I said, I feel like it's a mental illness.
And
Um
it's a breeding ground for mental illness. And if I could encourage anybody to have anything or take anything, it's grace.
right.
Take grace for yourself and take up space for yourself. Like, your body is a constant evolution tool, and what society says about beauty has nothing to do with why you're here on this earth. Because I promise you, your children and the people that come out of your body will you be the most beautiful person in the world to them
Yes.
as their creator.
Exactly.
Like,
And
nobody hyped me up like my daughter. I know I'm a
okay.
baddie. I know how gorgeous I am. I'm aware. I may not act like it, but I know. I'm very well aware. And if I ever act like I forgot, my daughter will be very quick to remind me.
So do you feel like these mommy makeovers are procedures that, women are indulging in because the lack of validation that they have? Do you think the lack of validation comes from themselves or comes from other people?
I think it's a combination of lack of self validation, but also the weight of public opinion. And everybody has a model in their eyes. Everybody has their altar that they erect in their mind when it comes to the beauty standard. Everyone has somebody in their mind that is okay. If I were to look like anything, this is body goals, right? Or mom goals, or couple goals, or
Mhm.
this goals or that goals. If I'm completely 100% transparent, I am my own goals, because I dare to believe in myself every single day. In the skin I'm in, I'm dominating. In the skin I'm in, I'm like, this body pumped out milk. This body, this
Right. And I mean, this body is just so powerful.
is
Like,
so powerful, like
I
so
love it
powerful.
just out as it is. And for me, having a company called Be You Beauty, you know what I mean? Being you and your authentic self, being you and appreciating who you are and not trying to adhere to anybody else's goals and standards. And not even, I would say, I don't even say your own, because like there's a video on the blogs about Jackie O, who saying like, basically saying like, I don't care what you guys think, I'm gonna still get this surgery type of thing. And that could have been her because of her own standards, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not doing this for nobody but me, so I don't even care what y'all think. But it's like, at the same time, how we think sometimes is skewed, you know.
Do you really believe that oh, this is for me, this is not for nobody else? I just want to look good for myself in the mirror.
Mm. I mean, because I've always been a small frame woman, like I've appreciated my bodies and off. I've always felt sexy. I felt sexy when I was 100 pounds. I feel sexy at 115. I feel sexy as a 7 month old pregnant woman. So like, I just love my body in all its phases, but I really do feel like it's a vanity thing. I feel like it's not for you, because I'm sure, because men really don't care.
I've been pulling the same. Don't get me started. I've been pulling niggas since 1987, and I pull way more niggas now.
Okay, like men really do
Okay,
care,
the
but I
rock
feel
never
like
dry. Amen.
I feel like
Like,
it's it's a disconnect somewhere. It's a
Bianca, the first thing they do is nibble this little piece right here. That's the first thing they do. Ah, on the knee. They. That's the first. We getting too real tonight. All right,
okay, like, but
that's fine. It's
that's
fine.
my thing. So it's, you're not doing it like, these men don't care.
They don't care. We want to impress each other. We trying
Yeah,
to act baddie the baddies, and they don't even care. They want a wife. Can you melt butter not burn it?
but
Can you
now
cook my
now
rice?
this man don't even have a wife.
Child, don't get me started, okay?
Like, so I just I just want us to appreciate our bodies for how powerful they are and what they do, and not always feel like we have to change anything about ourselves, you know?
Be you holistically, purely, and contently. Like, and
Yes.
and if you're having challenges with, identifying with those changes, I firmly suggest you get to the nearest mirror
Mm-hmm.
and tell yourself you're enough over
I
and
was gonna
over
say,
and
like, I
over
think
again.
they need to do some self love and some self healing, like balance that sacral chakra and that solar plexus
We
and
might need a mirror work workshop. We might need a mirror work episode.
stuff. Yeah, because it it's a disconnect within themselves. It has nothing to do, and I mean, like, not to say it has nothing to do with outside people, because people do seek outside validation, but
Yeah,
those who don't really seek outside validation, they're disconnected from their true essence, and they don't
right.
really feel powerful as women, and they're just so into how they look. And that's why in the last episode we were talking about investing in yourself as opposed to on yourself.
I mean, depending on your industry, you might feel like like that funding your self image is funding your net worth, and on some comparisons that may be true, but we're putting emphasis on the inner work. Okay, all right. I'm not shunning survival sex work. Get it how you get it, girl. Don't stay there forever. Okay, don't let them streets define you. Get on out.
For real.
What I'm saying is, look deeper than that. It's a deeper reason, and there's always a deeper intention for why you want to alter your physical appearance.
And then it's like, for the women who have daughters, it's like, you want your daughter to love herself for who she is. You don't want her looking at other people as goals, or feeling like she needs to get surgery and all this stuff. But you know what I mean? We are setting these examples for our children. And now these little girls are, they don't have a mom. And they don't have a mom due to the fact that she went and got body surgery.
Yes,
You know what I mean? Like,
I got two girls and a little boy. Rest in peace, Jackie. Oh, it affected a couple of people in my collective as well. But
very young, 32 years
couple she's
old.
younger than us. And it's unfortunate because I say this with care for mothers with daughters that um what you say is their mentality, but how you take care of yourself is a template for how they
It's a
show up for
reflection.
themselves.
Yeah, that
Self care is the biggest lesson, is the biggest critical analysis they'll ever have. So, like, I'll give it I'm always throwing myself in. Like, my younger sister had always didn't like she's always been natural. Not her whole life. She had like processed seasons and cut seasons, fried, dyed, laid to the side seasons. But on her natural journey, I noticed how it was right around the time that my daughter was coming, like, growing up into grade school.
Mhm.
And my daughter had a aversion to want to like have the hairstyles her classmates had. But and it's like, while my sister was going through her natural transition, I'd always been natural, but I took time out from my natural season to like have fried hair. So it was smack in the end of my fried hair season. I had my own reasons for leaving creamy crack alone. But when I
Okay.
saw the effects it had on my daughter, like she wanted her hair to look like mine, so we looked like twins, and my hair was like three and a half bundles, like my perm, my leave out. You could not clock me. Any weave I had, you could not clock me. That's how fried. I have 4C hair, so
Mhm.
it's a whole lesson in making sure it blend. I never wore a closure in my life, so like I had to fry my hair and my edges. Listen, I got 4C hair. It don't lay. It don't lay. What is laying down? But when I had to let go of that, like, why do I want my hair like for straight? And then that was when I was working in corporate. That was
Right.
when I was, more outwardly appearing to like ministry and public obligations. I was more in front of the camera. So like I thought that my hair being straight was my hair being neat.
Because that's the beauty standards.
That was the beauty standard of the industry I was in.
Societal beauty
Right.
standards.
I had to wear slacks to work, so of course I had to have a slick hairstyle in order to be physically appealing, in order to be like, accepted. I code switched. Like it was a lot of code switching going on. And then when my sister's natural in the house, so I'm using her products. I'm like, oh my god, my curls are reverting, and it wasn't the worst thing in the world. And I transitioned out of away from the creamy crack. I transitioned into natural hairstyles, and like I've been natural for what, about 7, almost 8 years now,
Hmm.
and that's the height of Lemon's comeuppance. And like I have these pictures of her, like she's so confident with her afro and like one little clip on the side, or like Lemon, like she's very
Yeah,
confident.
yeah.
She has very much a lot of self awareness, and that's from me just appreciating
But
her.
imagine, her growing up in those pivotal years or those important years and seeing her mom come back from surgery and can't be touched, can't move, can't do this, can't do that.
Can't
And
cook.
can't cook, can't for 2, 3 weeks. Like one of my good friends went to Miami recently to help her sister after her sister got some body surgery done, and she was like, "Girl, like I don't even understand how she
The
put her."
drainage is crazy. The upkeep, the maintenance, and the aftercare is way more strenuous than a couple of hours on a table. It alters
Right,
your whole life. It alters what medication you can take. It alters how often you can fly. It alters your limited mobility. Like these things, like there's so many critical factors to changing your body when you can just get fit and get right. And
right.
I chose a natural path. So I changed my eating habits. I'm actually in the middle of body transformation right now. None of my clothes fit. Every day I'm in the archive trying to revamp what I already had. 'Cause I'm not trying to shop until I move to Houston because you know what I mean. Like, I'm not trying to pack nothing. Like, but I might end up leaving like 80% of my clothes behind. Like, I'm
Yeah,
I'm
It's
getting further along in my health journey. It's like I can appreciate my body transforming. It's responding to my plant allies. It's responding to my herbal remedies. It's responding to more rest. It's responding to choosing joy as an occupation. You know what I'm saying? Like my body is changing in the best way possible. Like my face now on this camera does not look like 1 year ago.
right.
I'm constantly growing and evolving. And the more I learn about my body and what my body needs, and the more I feed it that, my body changes for the better. My body is stronger now than the year I gave birth.
Mm-hmm.
There's certain things I could do with my body that my daughter can't even do, and not the sexual stuff. I mean, like like even the other day when they were coming to the table for the yoni steams, I was able to hold my posture like you do it like that. Like I'm not toppling
Right,
over.
right, 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 right. Yep, I saw you.
My core is very strong.
Right.
Like,
Okay.
okay, okay. I'm not like hold on to do like this or like that. No, it's like you could do it like this, hold it, or and we call it mega knees, but it's really core strength. Like taking care of your body from the inside out is the best thing you could do. That's the mommy makeover. Is the mentality.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Like, do you need a mommy makeover or you just need to accept that being a mom is a makeover? Like being a mom is it's the mentality. It's the journey. And there's just certain phases in your life that you're never gonna really get back, and that's okay. You know what I mean? Like we honor women through all their phases. We always say that, like the moon, we go through phases and each phase is important.
It has a
each
significance.
each
Yeah.
phase has its significance, but each phase also wanes and waxes,
Yes.
and we need to honor those cycles.
Yes.
I feel like the women who really want to get back to their old selves, quote unquote, really never really had an identity to begin with.
Mm. Do you have any self identity heroes? I have a few.
Um, I don't know.
My favorite is Lizzo.
Okay.
Not because she's big and not because of her stature. It's because of the messaging behind her stature. And her birthday is the same day as mine. But because it's the way she's so she's for all intents and purposes very arrogant.
I think Coil Ray is a good one too.
Amazing example. Cola is an
Yeah,
amazing example as well.
because she gave us small girls like the confidence to, like, you know what I mean? Like it's not always about having a fat ass and big titties. Like you can flaunt your shit, be cute still, and she still could twerk it. Like,
It be
yeah.
moving. It be moving.
It be moving. It be moving. Little girl, little booties need love too.
Little booties matter.
Okay? Like I'm not in the little booty club right now, but I might go back to it. I don't
Nah,
know.
you joined us, girl. You crossed over. You got
Okay.
ass now.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll see.
You in it. You in it
But
now.
I'm never gonna forget the little booties because that was me.
Listen, they
You
wear pads too. They steam too.
okay. I don't need to go back to it. It's not. I'm trying to go back to my old life, but I'm never gonna forget that part of me.
And if you do go back, you'll be welcomed by the itty bitty titty committee. Okay? And
Period.
if you're still with us, we call these breast.
Okay. I
Eat.
got breasts now, girl.
Okay? And we welcome you. You are blessed with breast. And we welcome you. We welcome your milk bags.
See, like
You
I'm
better
saying,
feed
like
you better feed a human.
these things go down to sandbags or raisins or whatever. Like it
You're
just
still somebody's son's pillow.
okay. I told my man, you better love me anyway because you did this to me.
Listen, you need to
So
worry about
now
getting
I'm gonna want to put stuff
you need to worry about getting re-pregnant. Not if your teeth's gonna flatten up. You need to watch it back tonight.
re-pregnancy thing. Let me get through. Look, the way my back hurt, I don't know.
I don't know, girl.
I don't know, man. But what I do know is that I'm gonna leave some resources with you all in the
Yes,
comments.
for mental health and emotional health.
Yes,
Yes.
for mental, emotional, mommy empowerment, life intentional psychotherapy, all that good stuff, because you need it. You know, everybody needs it.
Yeah.
And if you don't know where to go, then we are here to, hold space.
Yeah, and give you resources like in the bio, well, not in the bio, but in the episode description, we'll leave some resources. Our we have friends who are therapists. I even put my mommy mindset coach in the list as well. Dr. Nikki is amazing. She's helped transform my mindset and also repivot some things I've been doing in my career and in my motherhood. She helped me, take up space as a daughter, but also demand respect as one.
Mhm.
I live in a multi-generational household, so I'm navigating a lot of old ideologies as well as new ones. So
Right.
it's a lot of where's your girdle? Oh, but you look nice. So,
Uh, oh, but you look nice. You're not wearing panties. Oh, but you look nice. Like, yeah.
yeah,
And so I hope that you enjoyed this week's episode of Coochie Conversations. For
yeah.
all the new moms out there, I want to also leave you with a postpartum affirmation before we wrap up today's episode. And it's I accept myself fully and freely through all of my phases.
Yes.
Yes, I accept myself fully and freely through all of my phases. I think you guys need to go into the mirror naked and just say these affirmations every single day when you're feeling a little, uneasy about your appearance. Talk nice to yourself, you know. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this today's episode. Please
Yeah.
like, share, subscribe, and comment below. We'd love to hear your feedback. And we will see you next week on Coochie Conversation.
Woo!
Good night, guys.
Bye.